Now, a British-Belgian teenager has become the youngest woman ever to fly solo around the world. After a 5-month journey, Zara Rutherford is back on terra firma in Belgium. We'll be speaking to Zara in just a minute. But first, a look at her record-breaking time in the air.
There was no cabin crew on board to prepare for this landing. As 19-year-old Zara Rutherford touched down in Belgium, she became the youngest woman in history to fly solo around the world, and the youngest person to do so in a microlight aircraft. A hero's welcome awaited her.
I'm really happy to be here. It's been a crazy trip, 5 months long, and even this last flight was pretty tricky, so it's been a challenge the whole way through.
Rutherford's around-the-world ride spanned 5 continents and covered 52,000 kilometres. She raised money through sponsorship and often stayed with host families. Zara shared the highs and lows of her adventure online. The trip took much longer than expected, and there were moments of turbulence.
So right now my Russian visa has just expired, so I'm actually not allowed to go into the country, which is frustrating. North Korea is over that way. I'm not allowed to get too close to it because they don't like small airplanes flying around. I'm really happy I'm on the ground, to be honest. The first little bit was fine, and then suddenly the clouds started getting lower and lower. I think at one point I was at 600 feet above the ocean, which was pretty scary.
Beyond breaking records, Zara had a bigger mission. Meeting locals and giving talks along the way, she tried to inspire other girls and young women to get involved in aviation, science and technology. Back on Belgian soil, that work continues.
Growing up, I didn't see many other female pilots, so I'm kind of hoping to be a friendly face. And yeah, I've gotten some amazing messages from both girls and women just saying that they've started flying after seeing what I've been doing, which is really cool.
Do you think you achieved your mission?
I think so. I'd like to think so, yeah.
It was an emotional reunion for Zara's mother Beatrice, who says there were some nail-biting moments.
Of course, this is not without risk. She is breaking a record after all. But I was very confident in Zara's skills and her experience, and also in the team, in the whole team behind her, and that we kept it as safe as possible.
Barely out of high school, Zara Rutherford plans to keep her feet on solid ground for now and apply for university. But she hopes her double world record will encourage girls everywhere to spread their wings in any way they can.
And I'm now more than delighted that Zara found the time to talk to us. There she is. Zara, congratulations, first of all. Welcome to DW. And my first question, of course, how do you feel today?
I'm super happy. Thank you for having me. It's really strange being back home and see my family again.
I can imagine that. You were away for 5 months. You covered 50,000 kilometers in your own tiny plane, I must say. Tell us about the scary moments you had in the air. There must have been some.
Yeah, definitely. I think one of the most challenging moments was flying over Siberia, because it's like minus 35 degrees Celsius on the ground, and these were very long flights where I'd go for hundreds of kilometers without seeing anything human. No roads, no electricity cables, no villages, obviously, no people. And so if the engine stops, then suddenly I am hours away from rescue, and I don't know how long I can survive in minus 35 degrees.
Yeah, that is indeed scary. What were the highlights?
I'd say some of the highlights were, again, flying in Siberia probably, and just these very remote places. So Siberia, I had to avoid North Korean airspace, but that was a really interesting flight on its own. And then Taiwan is beautiful. Saudi Arabia is very beautiful as well. So some of the longer, more challenging flights were also obviously the most rewarding, and also, the most amazing.
So tell us, what made you plan that trip in the first place? You just didn't wake up one morning and say, I'm going to fly around the world, did you?
Right, not quite. So I'd always dreamt of doing something crazy and flying around the world, but I never thought it'd be possible. So I always thought it'd be too dangerous, too expensive, too complicated. So I never really thought twice about it. But then I was finishing school and I thought, actually, this is the perfect time to do something crazy when I've got a year to do nothing, basically, and fly around the world. So I planned my route. I got sponsorship. ICD Soft, a web hosting company from Bulgaria, came on board to help out. and I basically started flying around the world.
Quite an amazing story. What did your friends and family say when you approached them with this idea?
My father was super excited. My mother was a bit more nervous, and my friends, I think they had a moment of, wait, what are you doing? But I mean, they've all been really kind and obviously very supportive, and they're all very excited also to see me again. So I'm really looking forward to seeing my friends again.
Well, you said that your aim was to inspire especially girls to get involved into science and maybe even aviation. What's your message to all those girls out there right now?
That's right. Growing up, I didn't see many of the other female pilots, and I always thought that was quite discouraging. So I'm trying to be a friendly face. And so if you're a guy and you like flying, you're not the only one. I'm here too, and just keep going. It's very rewarding. Flying is amazing, and you get to see some pretty cool stuff from the air.
So, last question: what are the next steps there for you professionally? Are you aiming to become a professional aviator?
Right now, I'm not sure at all. So before this trip, I was very certain about what I was going to do, when I was going to do it. Now I'm kind of going with the flow. I would love to keep flying, and I will keep flying. But a huge dream of mine is to also become an engineer and get an engineering degree.
We wish you good luck with that. Zara Rutherford there in Brussels, an aviation pioneer in her own right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.